A Silent Voice, or The Shape of Voice, is one of the only movies that has ever made me cry. You know I'm serious when I open with that. I don't think I've ever been this emotionally invested in the characters of a movie. With TV shows, I can't say the same because there's so much more time to flesh out and establish characters. Not to say movies can't do this, but it's less commonly done well. Look at A Lord of the Rings. When you see that final shot, when everyone comes into Frodo's room, you feel something. Because in the 11 hours of combined runtime, you have grown to love these characters. But that's 11 hours. I've left so many movies going like, dang, that's a good one. But few have made me cry like a little bab. The pacing, the visuals, the story. Naoko Yamada and her team cram so much life into these characters in the time it takes most TV shows to establish exposition. This is where the pacing must be taken into account.
Maria, ohayo.
The first act of the movie gets us familiar with the editing style and form. The movie knows when to speed over details that don't matter, slow down for the main ideas, and leave some details for the audience to infer. This structure makes the movie engaging for every second of the way. It's like my policy on video games. I prefer a game that's short, but every second is good, rather than a long game that's only fun intermittently. And it makes me upset because so many movies today end up being the latter. The story revolves around a girl who is deaf named Nishimiya Shoko, and the surrounding, suppressing society that fails to understand how she is deaf. The first setting is middle school. The reactions from students initially give Shoko attention and support, but slowly devolve into just tossing her aside. This replicates society's efforts to accommodate people with disabilities throughout history and their immaturity when dealing with such issues. Then there's this kid over here, Ishida Shoyo, who's a total showerhead to Shoko, but he tries to make up for it when he meets her again in high school. This is the focal point of A Silent Voice's story. It sounds like a lackluster high school romance, but don't be mistaken. At the forefront are themes about depression and loss. Even with its serious tone, it does know when to chill the heck out and make the audience laugh. If the movie was only sad all the way through, I'd be sad all the way through this video. But thankfully, there are many interactions between the friend group that are wholesome and often very funny. The visuals are beautiful, from both in terms of animation and cinematography. Of course, that's a given, and it honestly speaks more for itself, but I feel like it deserves one mention at the very least. Along the same lines is the music. There are like 3 versions of each song for specific character moments and plot relevance. It's called something along the lines of leitmotif. I don't know, people like to say it a lot in videos relating to music. Nonetheless, the music has left a lasting impact on me. I'm talking like some John Carpenter nightmare stuff, but nice. It has something to do with classical conditioning. I took a psych class once, so that doesn't really give me much credibility, but it's a similar thing to A Silent Voice. Every time I hear this piano riff, I lose all of my composure. Maybe because the ideas in this movie really spoke to me, but regardless, the whole experience of this film is one I can recommend to anyone. To bring the topic back to emotion, with everything this movie throws at you, warmth and comfort, ice and grief, everything builds to a final shot that breathes so much emotion. Its vibrancy is something I have yet to experience before in the media film. Thank you all so much.
Mm-hmm.